Hey everybody, welcome in. In this video, I found a pretty cool part on the internet, and I don't even know what it is or what the name of it is. It says part number 2 or just part 2. I don't even know what part 1 was, but to me it looks like an Asian style flip-flop, something you might see on Naruto or Demon Slayer, which are two of my favorites, by the way. But I'll post the image in the comments or the info down below for y'all to see what I'm talking about. So some of the dimensions on here were kind of hard to read for an old man like me, but I tried my best. So what I'm going to do is I am going to start a brand new Inventor drawing. I don't want to save that. What am I doing? I'm going to go to new. I'm going to go to metric. I'm going to go to standard. It's in millimeters, so standard millimeters. Click on the create tab there. I'm going to start my 2D sketch. I'm gonna pick the XY plane. That seems to be my favorite. So I'm not worried about the dimensions at this point. I'm just gonna basically create the sketch of maybe the side view of that wooden flip-flop looking part. So I'm gonna use the line tool. And I'm going to start it over here somewhere. So I'm going to go straight across, go down, over to the right. That line is crooked. We can fix it. This one here is probably going to be crooked too. Anyway, I did that on purpose so I can show you how to fix a crooked line. Yeah, that's my story. I'm sticking to it. Go up. I'm going to do it over here to the left. I'm going to make an angle somewhere over here, just a random angle. Come straight across and then down. I'm gonna right click, hit OK. Now first I'm gonna fix my little mess up there. So to get that straight, I'm gonna go to my horizontal constraint here and click on this line, and it lines that back up. So then I'm going to right click, hit OK. I want to start adding some dimensions on here. So I'm gonna do my overall dimension first. So from this line to this line, that's going to be 200. You can see I was way off on my sketch. So we're going to have to zoom way out to get our part back into view. Let me drag this down, kind of get it out of the way, and then I'll start adding some other dimensions. So this dimension, this line here is going to be 40. And then, let's see, this one here is 25. Let's see here. This one is 50. And this one here is 37.5. This one is 25. And then it says from this line to this line, that's 100. Squeeze that in there. So let's see. Well, I got that. Okay, yeah, from here, this line here is 100 as well. I'm not going to add that dimension just yet. This angle from here to here, this angle is going to be, actually the way that they did it was this angle here. So that angle, let me zoom in and see what that number is. Alright, so it looks like it's 150. So I'm going to type in 150 right here. Get that angle there. And then I need the height of this is going to be 10. And then, so I'm going to also use a horizontal constraint for this one. Oh, no, maybe I won't. I want to line these up. So let me do the linear one instead. If you want to be like that, collinear. So here and here. And then we just need 2 more dimensions. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my collinear constraint and click on this bottom left corner. And I click on my origin and move that all up in there. We're fully constrained. I'm going to finish my sketch. And what I want to do is I'm going to turn my view to where it's like on the sheet of paper. So I'm going to click on maybe this back cube, back corner, to get it like so. Let me try to get this in the middle. I'm going to right click on that little house here and click on set current view as home. And I'm going to click on the fit to view option. So now I can extrude this shape. I want to go back the other way. It doesn't really matter which way you choose. And this distance is going to be 100. Click OK. All right, so there's kind of, now it looks like an old-timey race car or something. All right, now to get this kind of plane where it's kind of angled up for this kind of horseshoe looking part, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go up to where you see plane, and I'm going to select the angle to plane around an edge option. I'm going to click on this edge here. For my plane, I'm going to click this plane, this one here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to click this arrow and drag it backwards, and that's going to be 20 degrees. Or negative 20 degrees, like so. You can also type in negative 20 and then hit the green check mark. So that gives us our plane, which we can draw on. So then what I want to do is I am going to start a 2D sketch on this plane that we just angled around. I want to project geometry. I probably don't need to, but I'm just going to project this line here. And then I'm going to use my rectangle 2 point. And I'm going to draw a rectangle on that line. Drag kind of up and over. I'm not worried about the dimensions right now, because that's what I'm going to add in now. So I'm going to dimension from this edge to this edge. That's going to be 15. And from this vertical to this vertical, that's going to be 50. The height of this from here to here, that's going to be 40. Okay, then what I want to do is I'm going to create like a half circle. So for me, the easiest way to create that half circle, I know you're going to be thinking what, but the easiest way for me is to use a line. So I'm going to click on this corner. I'm going to click on this corner once, click it again, and this time when I click it the second time, I'm going to hold my mouse, my left mouse button down and drag it up and over to this corner. It looks kind of like a free throw line now for our basketball court, but I'm going to click OK here. So I am going to finish my sketch. I know there's more to do on that, but we'll come back in a minute. I'm going to extrude these 2 shapes. Make sure I'm going to use my join, and I'm going to use the to next option and then hit OK. So there's kind of our angled surface, which we can now kind of create that donut that's extruded. All right, so I'm gonna go back to start 2D sketch on this surface that we just made. And you see that where that blue center line is. I'm gonna use that as a center point of my circles. So this one is gonna have a diameter of 25 for the outer. I'm gonna make another circle that's gonna have a diameter of 12 for the innie. I'm gonna finish sketch. All right, so this hole in the middle is gonna be cut all the way through, and the outer one, it comes up by 15. So I want to extrude this inner one first. I'm gonna select that inner circle. I want to use the cut option, and just to make it easier, I'm gonna select symmetrically both ways and have it cut all the way through. And then hit OK. And you notice our line, or our circle went away. So if I go up to where it says extrusion 3, I'm going to right click. I can either share sketch or just turn on the visibility of that, which is what I'm going to do. And now we can extrude this outer circly donut straight up by, it looks like 15 for our distance. And hit OK. And then I can go back in to my sketch. Is this one? Yeah. So right click on sketch 3, turn the visibility back off so it doesn't kind of clutter up our stuff. And you can also turn the visibility off of this work plane here. So I'm going to right click on work plane 1, turn that visibility. I'm going to uncheck it to get it out the way. All right, so next, I think what I'm going to do is work on this kind of cut circle. Let's extrude cut through this part first. All right, so what I want to do is I'm going to start a 2D sketch on this kind of side face here. And then I'm going to draw a line from the end over to the left, and that's going to be 60. And then let's see what I want to do. I'm gonna also select this line, and that is true. Draw a window around it. I'm gonna turn that into a construction line. I think what else I want to do is I'm gonna draw another line just from here, anywhere on this line here really, and just go straight up. That's gonna be 45. And let's see, maybe I'll draw it over to the right. Just some random length there. And then I want to make these construction lines as well, because they're not used in our part. They're just kind of there to help me figure out where the center of this kind of circle is going to be, or this arc. So then what I want to do is I am going to draw a random circle somewhere kind of off to the side here. And that has a diameter, it has a radius of 50. So I'm going to say it's going to have a diameter of 100. I'm not really good at math, but I can do that. So, all right, so there's our kind of circle. So what I want to do now is I want to, I'm going to right click, hit OK. I want to get the circle to, I'm going to use the concentric. So if I click on my circle and I click on the end of this construction line that I made, okay, so it's going to slap it down there on that part that we want. And then what I want to do is I want to get the center of the circle down to where it's on this line. So I'm thinking, I don't know how, there's a few ways I can do that. I'm just going to dimension from the center of this to this line here and just make that 0. And that kind of gets us down where we want it to be. And yeah, I'm just going to finish my sketch there at that point. Making sure I got that correct. Yeah. So I'm going to finish my sketch. I want to extrude not the entire circle, but just this bottom portion here. That, and I want to cut it. That's going to be a depth of 30. And click OK. So I think that was probably the challenging part. And now to finish off our kind of part there, our wooden flip-flop, is I'm going to start a 2D sketch on this kind of angled plane here. And what I want to do is I'm going to use the rectangle 2-point. I'm going to start down at this corner and drag it up. Just make sure you get it to the end of this surface here. And then that's going to have a height of 50. But I can dimension that in just a minute. So I'm going to dimension from here to here. That's going to be 50. And then just kind of like what we did the other one, I'm going to draw a line. And I'm going to left click on this corner. And without moving it, left click again and hold it and drag it up and over to the opposite corner. And then here I can finish my sketch. I can extrude. I want to extrude this and this. And I'm going to go, it's going to be a join. And it's going to go to next. And I click OK. So there's that kind of angled surface. So now we're just going to have to kind of create these kind of circle holes in this kind of a cross shape that is cut into that part or that face right there. So I'm going to start another 2D sketch on this face here. I'm going to draw a circle, center point where this dot is here, and that's going to have a diameter of 15. And yeah, I can just go ahead and finish my sketch here. We can do this one at a time. I want to extrude this hole. I want to cut it all the way through. And then I'm going to start another 2D sketch. Same face. Do a circle. Same center point. This one has a diameter of, wait, what am I tapping that D for? That has a diameter of 25. 25, yeah. And then I'm going to finish my sketch. I'm going to extrude that ring. I'm going to cut it, and that's going to have a distance of 5. Click OK. And now for the cross shape again, I'm going to start a 2D sketch on this face. And I'm going to use a rectangle 2-point center. I'm going to click on this center point as my start point. I'm going to drag it kind of out. Let's see what I want to do. Do I want to click it on there? I think I'm going to go off the side to where it extends past it. And then my dimension, the height, this is going to be 10. I don't care what that width is. As long as it's kind of extruded past it, we're good. And then I can do the same thing, make another rectangle, 2-point center. I'm going to do the same thing, only in the opposite direction. But this one I can go down to the bottom. And then I'm just going to dimension the width here. And that's going to be 10. And now we're off center, are we? So let me see if I can hit my concentric constraint. And zoom in. I'm going to grab the center of this and the center of my circle here. All right, let me I'm not sure if it's going to let me do this. From here to here, I just want to get that over in the middle. All right, so something already has it constrained. So the best thing to do is I'm just going to delete this. I'm just going to delete all this gobbledygook. We'll do this over. I think it's crooked there anyway. Get rid of that. So let's try this again. Rectangle, 2-point center. I want it to be the center of this. Drag it down. This time I think what I'll do is go from the center. Wait, I want to dimension from the center here to one side. And I can make that 5. There we go. If you want to get complicated, we can get around it. So yeah, there we go. Yeah, so we got, that's really 10, 10. Okay, so then I want to finish my sketch. I'm gonna extrude. I'm gonna grab this whole rectangle. I want to grab this whole rectangle, but it may only let me do it in pieces. And that's fine. We can play your game. I'm gonna do the cut. We're gonna go down by 5, and there we go. So there's our piece. Just kind of double checking and make sure we got all this correct. It looks good, looks good. So then you can put whatever, you know, whatever color, whatever texture you want onto it. I'm not really gonna get fancy with this. I'm just gonna add some shadows, reflection, maybe make it perspective. That's kind of cool. And then we can change this to a photo booth. Just make sure you save it. I don't even know what to call this thing. Save it whatever you want, but that's kind of our Asian flip-flop looking piece. That's what it looks like to me anyway. So hope that helped, and I'll see you on the next lesson. Peace out.